Good evening, Professor Moran, class. Doing the assignment for the five online uh, websites that are database. I did start with Fandango. Uh, Obviously has movie tickets. They sell tickets. They update the websites quite regularly to update the amount of tickets availabilities for the theaters and whatnot. So, this is online with database is that this particular site is fed by one host, and that's Fandango. They sell tickets. The next one that I use is Flickster, which is the same thing. Talks about movies, box office, and the theaters, and it's also a database. Again, it is sort of a spinoff of the Fandango, but it's still the same concept. It is database. Again, they're updated quite regularly to keep up with the movies that's at the box office. Opening this week, top at the box office, and then of course the coming soon. Again, this has to be uh, updated regularly, and I'll explain why the database websites being updated regularly is important. With the Priceline, which I'm sure we all know what Priceline is, hotels, flights, especially flights, cars. This is updated hourly, I believe, because of the availability factor. Again, it has to be database. It has to be updated regularly to keep up with current real-time reservation statuses of flights and whatnot. The fourth site is Expedia, kind of the same thing as Priceline, flights, hotels, and again, it has to be updated regularly to show real-time reservation availabilities for this. And that's what has cruises on there for car reservations, hotels, flights, vacation rentals. Just in general, again, it database has to be maintained and updated quite regularly. Last one I chose was obviously American Airlines has to be updated because of flight availability, flight cancellations. So I did choose this one for that. It's an extremely heavily database. I believe the question asked a couple of questions as far as like why is the database why is being database important? It's because the database is that it has to be real time data. It has to be data that's available, that's real time, that's being used because it's probably being used to calculate something, times, distances. Traveling, a lot of very sensitive, not sensitive in terms of personal, but just information that needs to be known. That has to be specific, has to be on time, and these databases have to be updated accordingly to be able to reflect these reflections, reservations, and whatnot. And then it's what would be the consequence or the um, word it used, what would be the limitations if it was static. If it was static, you couldn't have real time availability of reservations. You couldn't have real time availability of how you could reserve something like an airplane or especially the airplanes where they flight and the way they come and go. So if it were static and it wasn't able to update regularly, then of course, point you get on there, something might not be there, something might be there. You wouldn't know it's static, it's never updated. Database websites have to be updatable and updated regularly. Hope this does the point. These are the five database websites that I chose to speak on. Thanks, guys. I hope it was a good one. Appreciate you. Be a coincidence if we all pick the same ones.